the arena, didn't we? Or did anything happen before that? Help me out here.
We did a lot of talking between each other and other people. Basically thought of how to approach the vampire guy, I think.
Alright, that's what we talked about. And then we had the arena, and then something else. Oh, I was sick. I think I might have forgotten everything. That's a horrible excuse.
The champion thing where we were gonna be the champions.
Alright, yeah, Kyron was in the arena and one-shot everything pretty much. Then during the week we did a lot of exploring around town and talked about how to approach the vampire, which we will inevitably have to do. And we did find out quite a bit of information, such as that apparently all the bandit gangs and stuff have to pay a blood tax of sorts, which we assume is to the vampire guy. And since now that our organizations are active again as well, we might eventually have to approach him, or we will be approached in some way or another. That's something to look forward to. And well, Marcus also joined in the arena, and yeah, Marcus got offered like a champion spot in the arena, but Kyron didn't, which was somewhat pointless, and not pointless, disappointing. But Kyron just one-shot everything, and apparently that was not enough a contest. But he did get offered to be able to join again if he fights without any magical equipment whatsoever, to which he of course agreed, because he's never going to say no to a challenge. So that might be interesting.
I challenge you to kill yourself.
Okay.
What you gonna do now?
Well,
if you're planning to do that, let me walk in with breath of life, right?
That might be something.
If you're gonna kill yourself, we need you back. Hell's not ready for you again.
And yeah, I think we did a lot more, but I can't quite think of it. Oh yeah, we did find out that the gnome is actually a fraud, which doesn't really surprise anyone. And we couldn't convince Marcus's organization to completely smash up his shop, because that would have been funny. But he didn't do it. So we're sad. And the gnome still lives. I suppose that can be changed, if we want to. Other than that, for the recap, I'm probably forgetting a lot of stuff. Silence.
Yup. I don't know.
We went out and took a look at that house.
Oh yeah, the house that we don't really know anything about, apart from that it looks abandoned.
So, we begin as this Saturday. Tonight, this evening, is another time at the fighting arena.
Where this time, Sheep is going to die.
Gonna fight with no equipment.
Probably, yeah.
I'm equip everything, Sheep. Also, take off my breastplate. You haven't got it anymore.
Oh, that's a good point, yes.
Instead,
I've taken that back.
equip mage armor. And shield and other things that is not equipment.
Didn't they state that
the
no
rules
magic?
still no magic.
No, but he is inherently magical.
That's true, but
He's like a pixie.
That would be cheating.
Would his bite be okay then?
Of course.
Claws?
why wouldn't it?
Marcus did say that
Your part right.
Kyron
Oh
is,
yeah, your
Yeah.
name was gonna be the Silver Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you definitely can sneak in some light magic buffs here and there.
Like heroism and such.
Exactly.
Light magic buffs.
On the bright side, at least you get.
And invisibility.
No, probably doesn't things that don't sort of
Aren't flashy.
no things that aren't flashy.
Just saying, Sheep, it's a good thing that you have natural armor from your class, isn't it?
Oh yes. I do have 18 AC without everything.
Really?
Without anything.
Hmm.
Yes.
Jesus!
It's a lot of AC.
You have 2 decks!
I have 2 decks, I have dodge, and I have 5 natural armor from all my classes and stuff.
Wonderful.
Wow. Doesn't Amulet of Natural Armor stack?
Yes.
Okay.
So is Kyron's plan to cheat?
No. Chiron wouldn't cheat, and I honestly
will
don't
bite
think
and claw
I
his
need
enemies.
it.
Well, that's not cheating. You did say that you were
I
a
now I
dragon.
understand. I'm going to use my abilities, but I'm not going to use magic. If my abilities are considered magic, then that's their problem. But you know, Zacharias can always like. How did you phrase it last time? Facilitate efficiency or something?
Yeah, facilitate victory. It's a. I mean, his victory is all but assured. We just, expediencing. I don't know, expedientially.
Expedite.
Expedite. The
Expedite?
process. Expedite.
Expedite.
Yeah, expedite the process.
Yeah, if he's going to win anyway, there's no point in him getting extra claw marks in him, which
No,
have
exactly.
patched up. It's just a waste.
Yeah, a terrible waste.
Well,
Can we
yes, but
continue-
Chiron himself is not going to cheat. He
Can we contingency
can
Breath of
those
Life?
beasts.
He wants a real fight.
Oh yes.
We will be standing in the audience with Breath of Life ready, I think, for this.
You're probably sitting in the darkest corner just with a rod ready, just like maximum charge Breath of Life.
Yep.
Like, unless he's outside of my 800-foot range, I'm thinking Breath of Life again.
I think you should.
You have a very long breath.
Well, the point is, if I triple use the rod, using all its charges at once, I get long range. So,
Am I the only one who's very nervous about Grumble, Jack, and Trick with the Golem?
Yeah.
Oh, they're fine.
yeah, I don't see a problem.
Or
Locked.
dead.
If they did what we said and locked the golem in a room in a ship with only the undead, it'd be fine.
How do you know that?
The golem doesn't attack.
Because the golem doesn't
dead
attack
things.
undead, and if the room is locked, the golem can't get out. And of course, he won't attack any living things because there aren't any living things for him to attack. So
I don't know. I would kind of feel more safe if we put Chloe there too, but since
Chloe's actually useful.
Well, the thing is, we can't really use Chloe at the moment because she has to hide inside.
Well,
Cash.
if we actually do some combat, Chloe can actually have a wand with 50% chance to set things off now, which is actually kind of useful.
And we have
Like
to
wand of
scry.
fireball.
We have to scry that Duke
Or
to
aligning Cash's weapons, for instance.
to find out if he's still alive.
Yeah. You will find, if you try to approach Zacharias on this subject, that he seems to be very busy over these 3 days. He has been... the first day he's basically locked in his room.
And how is she supposed to approach you?
Yeah, exactly. That is the problem.
Barge in.
That's a good idea.
Change Chloe into something tiny.
You can lockpick, remember?
Second day is probably he's in meeting with Mott most of the day, and the third day he's not in the mansion. He's out.
Too bad Azura doesn't know scrying, or else he'd use your scrying stone.
So there will be no way to get to talk to Zacharias.
He will be very busy.
We should start then by here the Saturday morning. I don't know if you eat breakfast together,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
it is served to you. So
Depends what time you guys would normally eat breakfast.
I mean, we sleep for 2 hours, and we don't really need
you don't
breakfast
need
anymore.
to
So
eat. But that's why I'm asking. Like,
it's more of a
eat ever?
Like Azura's probably.
it's more of a social thing.
Yeah.
Because we're so
Sit there
social.
looking at the food.
Yeah, so tasting it a bit.
They're gonna
I don't
think
know
we're
if I'm doing it.
vampires.
You can just eat bacon. Like, you don't need anything else because
That is food.
Cash.
Well,
Just give all the food to Chiron.
Now,
If there is grapes, Cash will indeed eat it.
there is
Now-
whatever you really ask for.
There will
This
be
house is
grapes.
well stocked up on food
There shall be grapes.
at the acquisition's expense.
Excellent. What is the most expensive food we can keep eating?
Like
That would
roasted
be-
pheasant or something like
There
that.
you go.
That would be that food that Marcus found. Remember?
Give me only pheasant.
That cheese thing. Don't you remember
Cheese thing?
he went to this part of the city where the food was extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So mostly fish. River
That's fish. Oh no, I want fish.
Yeah, I think we eat rather, extravagantly on the Inquisition expense.
We just eat tiny portions of very expensive food. They always
Also-
come in tiny
Also
portions.
Also, our lieutenants, also, we serve them the finest food we can bring.
I enjoy it.
Halthus.
Pheasants for
Enough time.
breakfast.
What does Halthus like? Like raw
Halthus?
beef?
No, he doesn't eat raw beef. He really likes your shellfish.
All right, shellfish. Wow.
Kind
Well,
of
he should join us at the
He's
table.
really into like.
We have,
You
we
want
have three
Halthus
more
there?
chairs. Let's
Timian, Alpha,
Tim.
Mott.
Sir, Mott.
Wait.
We have so many chairs.
No. No. That's how we're gonna do
No.
this.
Right. Oh wait, yeah, Timian.
What? Why is he's gonna sit next to me?
There we go. Best way of doing
Halthus
this.
is sort of he's sort of sometimes looking at Cash's plate, as if he really wants to like stick his fingers over and pick something out. And if she eats any sort of thing like pheasant, he will ask if he can lick the bones.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Because to him, that's the best part, breaking them open, like sucking out the marrow inside of them.
Well, I
Really
bet Cash would be sure she'll give it to him.
Don't
And
think.
Cash loses, spin the knife.
Sit here cracking bones and shellfish and such. He likes things. He likes to eat things as he has to break
Ah.
to consume them.
Timmy and Mott will be like, does she have to be here?
What does Timmy need?
Timian? He eats whatever Marcus eats.
Oh, of course.
Ah, wannabe.
What does Mott eat?
Mutt? He likes
Uh,
potatoes especially.
And
He likes a good food and maybe some mixed up salad. You know.
Sure.
oh, he only wants
things.
potatoes and gin.
He has a very sort of refined taste in
Of
those
course.
things. Yet he's still, he likes vegetables and that sort of thing.
Things that make you smart.
Anakai, what's the spiciest thing the servants can serve us?
Oh, in this city, something that would most likely make Asuria's beg for death.
Oh, that was the food that Kyron got,
This
wasn't
city,
it?
like everything you eat here, is somewhat spicy. One thing you can't get is non-spicy food in Gastonhall. Gastonhall is known for its incredibly spicy food, and so if you ask for the most spicy thing, that's something that's probably dangerous to eat.
Didn't
Like
Kyron get
something that to be a real man in the bear family, you have to like lick
You
at
forget
this
because me and
and
Kyron
not
burnt
die.
fire, so
Didn't he get something extremely?
Yeah. You get incredibly spicy food. If you don't like spicy food, this is not the place. It's very spicy.
Very
It's a-
spicy.
really, it can't be more spicy than me
Here's
and Kyron
fruit
both burping
salad.
fire. Ooh. 1 second. Let me get the knife.
No, you can leave the knife there.
Knife in the middle of the table.
I can
Pyramid here. I
small.
mean, everyone has some food. At least the people who aren't you.
Sushi. Potatoes.
If you wanna talk, social gatherings.
Potatoes.
Had
Zacharias.
days relatively alone. And,
Here you go, Kyron.
A whole turkey for Kyron.
that's breakfast.
That's the
That's
big.
breakfast,
That's
yes.
the pheasant breakfast.
I'll move it. I don't think there's any meat on a plate. I'm
It's
sorry.
quick.
I don't need a plate.
I don't think Kyron uses a plate probably. He doesn't make
Yeah,
claws
claw-
and sticks his finger inside of it.
That's That's what a huge pile of bread.
Let's make that tiny.
Oh well. You've gathered. After the 3 days of doing your own things.
Zacharias looks around and he actually, looks over to Actually, would let's see, grave robbing, that's a contacts move, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right.
To get the corpses. It's not like digging them up as much as it is getting them before they're buried.
Right. Oh, well, never mind then. Well, Sakurai will look to the group and say that. God damn it! Oh no!
Alpha, she spilt your coffee.
No, my
Mix it on the table.
headset cord is like stuck in my chair, and this is gonna end horribly if I don't untangle it.
Who cast Entangle on you?
Just pull as hard as you can.
Nope, that's not gonna work.
Be a bad idea.
No, you can continue while I fix this.
Oh, that's a big.
So, group, my magical cable seems to have got stuck.
There we go.
Oh, there's nothing in his cup. That's not fair. Never.
So while you were playing dolls in here, Sakurai has actually been working.
We didn't play with dolls.
So, "Ooh, I need potatoes on this thing, and it needs to be pretty."
Excuse me, don't say you're...
We didn't play with dolls.
The fun thing is all these things are players.
Why do you think we were playing with dolls?
Oh,
Because of the voodoo doll over in the corner. Oh, I see. Sorry.
well, Kyron would probably be interested in what Zacharias has done, since he himself hasn't really done anything except have fun, pretty much.
Been in his
Vacation.
room and not want to talk to any of us. So rude.
Sakurai glares at Cash. No, I have been in a meeting, a very interesting one at that. I spent quite some... Yes, red wine, clearly.
Well, clearly. I just try to make it smaller.
I have spent quite the effort and expense to meet with Professor Tiberius Thrain at the New Gaster Academy. The good professor is trying to set up a magical academy, free from the influence of the Inquisition. Basically a new and unaligned center for research and medical studies. This is something I am interested in backing, and that is why I've talked to him. It has come to his and mine attention that the main blocking against this being realized is that the Duke needs to sign the warrant allowing the academy to be funded and founded. He will not do so, however, because the Inquisition is opposing him, and he does not want to make an enemy out of them unduly. However, this Sakurai's emotions. There is a few solutions to this. I have presented myself and some of my organization, under false names of course, to be at his disposal. I have appeared to be learned and quick thinking, prodigious skills, and expert in what would be called defense against the dark arts. He smiles. As such, according to the papers I have provided, I have done a lot of work for the Inquisition, and I have even supplied some papers to him to sell in this story. He has agreed to a few things. Zacharias looks over at Mott. I have been granted a guest professor seat, I guess, like a guest lecturer seat at the academy. I will make appearance there and start working on the good name, as it were. In the academy, once it is formed, I have forwarded my name quite successfully. I should be among the founding members of said academy, allowing us, our group, good influence over such a powerful institution. The good professor is very powerful and no doubt very smart, but he seemed to buy this story without much trouble. He seems to be more interested in research than actual political alignments. Zacharias makes a motion. The problem is still, of course, how to get this approval. And here, him and I have struck a deal. The ring we found from the late and disappeared Princess Iris. With it, and if we can acquire a skeleton of a half-elven maiden, we can convince the good Duke that Iris is dead, and we know of her. We know of her death, so to speak. We can weave a believable story, no doubt. With this, the Duke must grant us a boon. The deal I worked out with the professor is thus: if I request that for the boon that the Baron sign the papers necessary to fund the academy, my name will be most likely among the founding members, and the professor has agreed to pay us a good sum of gold, 10,000 gold to be precise. This is something I arranged for because, as I said, that my traveling companions are more interested in the mundane riches of the world rather than academical pursuit. Zachariah smiles.
You know us too well.
Yes, we've all been together for, what is it now? Almost 2 years, I believe.
I think 2 years is nothing for Cash, isn't it? It's not been very long.
And yet you have grown so powerful over these 2 years, Lady Cash.
She keeps on knowing. smart.
Oh,
Oh,
you.
please continue.
I mean, it wasn't even 2 months ago she didn't have wings.
That is true.
Yes, those are nicely grafted on.
Like,
Just like with duct tape and
Yeah.
super glue.
Yep, basically.
that's all she needs.
So yeah, basically, the deal is we present the things to the Duke, get him to sign the papers to fund and found the academy. Zacharias will hopefully be among the sort of board of directors of that academy, perhaps even heading up one of the sort of wings or schools of study.
Yes, heading up defense against the dark arts.
Yes, and his peculiar specializations of being the master of defense against the dark arts things. Certain unsavory research must be done, of course. This will excuse any foul experiment that might come to light in the academy, because of course to fight the darkness you need to know more about it.
Is
Know
Zacharias
thy
gonna
enemy to
be a
defeat.
professor then?
Hmm?
Is he gonna be a professor?
Hopefully.
Cool.
Professor Zacharias Wraith.
You were just about to say Snape.
Professor Wraith.
So we come here with
Professor
our
Wraith.
month of vacation, and Zacharias gets a job.
Yes. Screw you people! I am pursuing my academic career.
Good for you.
No, Zacharias will not. I did not use my real name, of course. I used a taken name. The professor does not know the name Zacharias Wraith.
One thing I might add.
Actually, now that I think of it, do you know Zacharias' real name? Yes, you do. You actually know that, I think.
Cash?
Some of us would at least know.
But
I
he has
think
not.
Cash does know because she did the whole reading thing with
Yeah.
Mott.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
it's really close at this
Hawklight.
point.
Hawklight, I think.
Yeah, well, Hotlight, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cash might add that this princess has been dead for how many years? What is left of her skeleton is probably dust.
Well, we don't need her skeleton, of course. We just need a skeleton.
Yeah, but wouldn't he really find it really kind of weird that we actually brought a skeleton that is not dust?
The skeleton has been dead for about 100 years.
Yeah, 100-year-old skeleton.
I doubt
can-
there's much left of her. If her skeleton is real, I doubt anything's left.
Well, we don't need her skeleton. That's the whole point.
No,
Point-
but
And
The po-
even if we,
We just need a very old skeleton.
well, if we bring him a 100-year-old skeleton, that wouldn't be a skeleton.
it's still, well, there'll still be
Skeletons
someone with a
should
skeleton.
last 100 years.
Yeah, skeletons last 100 years.
Hmm.
They
Good
last
times.
quite a long time actually.
Oh, okay.
The flesh will go quite quickly. But
What's Cash know if there is any difference between a human skeleton and a half-elf? Except the size?
Everyone knows that there is some differences between humans and elves. So half-elves will basically, have some elven traits, and that goes in the bone structure as well.
I'm sure acquiring a half-elf skeleton in a city as big as Castenhau shouldn't be a huge problem.
Oh, it just goes to the
Yeah,
cemetery.
we're even
and-
close to the cemetery.
Did I let you roll the nobility or local last time?
For what?
For knowledge about half-elves.
You did.
Did I give you the answer?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I know I got a good check out of it.
Well, there's. I'll give it to you now. Then there's not a lot of half elves in Talingard because there are not a lot of elves. But it is known that the Barkan dynasty actually are pretty much half elves.
The Barkan
Pretty-
dynasty?
Yeah.
Pretty much what?
Arkan dynasty, pretty much all of them half elves.
Alright, so we can go and rob their tomb.
Times.
Are they like famous and known? Are they like a big dynasty?
The Barkans were the kings before the Darians rose up and the victor defeated the Barkan king.
Oh.
They were the Asmodean worshipping kingdom of Talingard.
Oh.
Do they have a mausoleum or something in the city?
You know that there is an old Barkan monastery, sort of a cemetery close to where you are. This is where it is known that the Prince Gaius.
All right,
spends
sure.
his time.
So we need to talk to the good vampire then. And do some
Maybe he'll
arrangements.
know something about half.
Hey, can you borrow us a skeleton? Also, can you turn our friend into a vampire?
No, I don't.
Well, the skeleton bit shouldn't be an issue. The vampire bit we still have to deal with.
Why would he even need to ask him for permission to take a skeleton? It's just a skeleton.
I mean, it's his.
Doesn't he live there?
Yeah, he kind of lives there, I think.
Is it okay? It's like if we went into
Oh,
his garden
well,
and took his
It
flowers.
might also help us finding a skeleton.
Yeah.
Just give us leave to do some digging, and that'll be fine.
Well, Cash is really good at stuff like that. You could point out, well, that is definitely a female half-elf.
Zacharias will hold up a finger and say, if we go before the Duke, disguises will be needed. We cannot appear as we are, clearly. I need to look as I usually do. We will need to sign the papers in my name. So
Yes.
my face will not be much disguised, so to speak. That is something of a problem, perhaps moving forward. I cannot really be seen doing much bad in the city, but I will remain mostly disguised when moving about. The
Your
persona I have created for the academy is under the name of Xanaver Greeth, a well-traveled and experienced wizard specialized in defenses against the dark arts.
I would like to note, it does not matter if you're seen doing bad things, as we can just make sure you're disguised when you're doing business.
Yes, that's my whole point.
There are plenty of ways to do it. I'm sure you have a number of them up your sleeve already.
Yes.
As Zerus is tapping at his makeup kit.
Yeah. But yes, those who would accompany me to the Duke for this would need to be properly disguised, of course. And anyone with a fast mind and fast tongue to help me weave a convincing story for him how we found the ring and the body would be a great help.
Understood. I will
Yeah.
accompany you if I have time.
Cash has a lot of time. She would like to accompany you.
Sure.
Yeah, you have plenty of time. You have centuries. You're fine.
Well, she has been doing stuff, but not like Zacharias trying to get a job. Cash just never got. Oh, she had one job. She was a henchman.
I was a henchman once. Zacharias nods. It seems then, yes, that hopefully this deal will come to fruition. As far as I know from the good professor, the Duke, although we know that he is something of an eccentric and quite mad, the professor has told me that some of that is probably just a facade, and that the Duke is actually quite brilliant.
Yeah.
Why he fakes this mental handicap is unknown to me, but perhaps it is something to let his enemies think lesser of him. We should not take him lightly, although I am also told that the good Duke very dearly probably wants to get rid of this whole Iris business, and hopefully won't look too closely into the whole fact once we present it. Getting rid of it for him, and only to the price of a signature seems to be is probably very attractive to him, especially if he can stick it to the church while doing so, under the guise of just following the law.
Mm.
We are playing them against each other here. It shouldn't be too much trouble, I think.
I doubt there's going to be much problem. We have
It feels like
the
we're playing a game of
ring.
chess, except for a third party.
Well, we have the ring. It's going to be pretty easy, I think. How he's going to get out of that? We have our ring, and we're going to bring a skeleton.
He could just look at the ring and declare it fake, of course.
He could.
If the more evidence we provide, the more likely it's going to be true.
Yes, and if we can weave a convincing story, how we found it. He will no doubt like to hold some sort of ceremony, and the story of how the brave Princess Iris fell in battle against Zacharias moves demon worshippers.
So we are going to tell him about the horn.
We will tell him any good story holds a kernel of truth. We won't tell him that we found it in the horn precisely, but we can certainly weave a story how we found it in the Kerbriar, or in a locale in that direction, in a old and dilapidated cave or remnants of a temple dedicated to a demon lord or some such.
With horrific symbols which clearly showed her valiant last fight.
Yes, of course. She fought valiantly and died heroically defending the kingdom.
Allow her legacy to live on.
Yes, and the only thing we ask in return is a small signature. He will hopefully sign, stick it to the church, just following the law, and I will get in a position of power, Zachariah smiles, and we will get paid. All in all, a splendid deal, I think.
Indeed.
It should not turn out too bad overall.
It seems to me then that we need to speak to the good Prince Gaius.
Well, if you wish to speak to a vampire, give me a heads up just before you wish to leave.
I think we should leave tonight, then. He's probably most active during the night.
We do have an arena fight tonight.
Oh yes, we do.
I suppose we
bother.
do. We can take care of that first. I doubt the good vampire sleeps much at nights. And we don't need either these days.
And I just
I
hope
doubt the
Kyron
good
doesn't get
vampire
too
sleeps
beaten
at all.
up.
Cash really looks forward to meet the vampire.
She gonna sort of gush over him like Bella style? What's going on there?
No. It's just because he wouldn't know a lot.
Okay.
She kind of want to know about her background. Why was she left in a goddamn bugbear camp?
And the vampire would know this?
Maybe he knows something about some drows that left, because drows are so rare. Someone would have seen her parents or heard about them.
Zacharias again cautions. Remember that when we stand before the prince, not to mention anything about a potential threat to the city. We are here to kill the Mithrans in the Vale, nothing else.
Of course.
Oh, I have a question. Since Azurius is remaking my weapon, and I gave my morning star to that kid, does anyone have a weapon I can borrow?
I have a morning star.
We did. I think we agreed we'd break down the weapons after we finished construction, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
okay. Then I still do.
So you
have...
still have your previous sword. Just the moment I finished construction on the new one, your other one's disintegrated.
All right. Well, hopefully I
Just instantly.
Yep.
won't need to use it in the next 2 days because I've already deleted the macros for it.
Oh, that's annoying. What was it? A longsword plus one?
It